Hashtag India needs Modi. And who better to start with than with the remarkable S. Gurumurthy ji. He is the chairman of the Vivekananda International Foundation. He is the editor-in-chief of Tughlaq. He is an acclaimed strategist and he has a deep understanding of Narendra Modi's mind and his thinking. So good evening, sir. Thank you. It's a privilege to have you as our first guest today. Sir, what are your opening remarks on our hashtag, India needs Modi? Do you agree? And if so, to what degree do you agree and why?
See, India needs Modi is undoubtedly true. But as someone who has experienced India and the Indian civilization for the last 50 years, how we were trashed, how we were humiliated within India and outside India, we were treated as just like coolies. The transformation I have personally witnessed, I have personally experienced. This transformation, of course, is a huge civilizational movement which the RSS had mothered and fostered. But the cutting edge came from the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Because of 6 qualities I see in him. He is a bottom-upwards man in a top-down administrative model. I will tell you why, what he himself has expressed. Second is he is both intuitive and counterintuitive. Third, so far as his scale of thought is concerned, sky is the limit. And so far as the speed is concerned, that could not be matched by his colleagues or even by the administration. The 5th quality is abuses in tons made him impervious to challenges. I mean, the kind of abuses that he has faced, I don't think anyone, anywhere in the world, and definitely in India, hasn't faced. The last quality is the more he was challenged, the more fearless he became. This was the Narendra Modi who evolved from 2001 onwards. I had seen him evolving. And so these qualities made him what he is. I will add how he learned the tricks of the administration. As he himself has said, as a bottom-upwards man, he called all the IAS officers, all the people who were involved in running the government as he became the chief minister. And 3 days he just kept listening to them, what they do, how they deal with each other, how they deal with the public. And he found they were dealing mostly with each other. And he ensured that they need not have to deal with each other and they have to deal only with the public. This is not taught to the administrators, political administrators of the country. And unless someone had worked at the bottom of the pyramid, he would not have come to this conclusion that the present administration cannot deliver unless the person who governs at the top has the bottom upwards knowledge. This is the transformation that he brought about in the administration. And I will tell you the 6 fundamental reforms in which I had some familiar knowledge about what was going on. The first is the demonetization for which he was abused and abused. But the fact is, without demonetization, there would have been no digitization. In fact, there are any number of researches which show what was the position of digitization, digital payments before demonetization, and how the people got accustomed to it during demonetization, how they found it even more easier to handle than check payments and cash payments after demonetization. Today, you have 56,000 crores digital transactions. It's unbelievable. So this was linked to demonetization for which he was abused, for which it was virtually, his government was sought to be brought down because of even the media joining in promoting the anger. But on that basis came the Jan Dhan Yojana. I was familiar with what was happening inside the government.
Yes.
The finance minister did not agree for more than 3 crore bank accounts. The Reserve Bank will not agree for more than 1 crore bank account. Modi wanted 7.5 crore bank account in the next 5 months. Today it is 56 crore bank account. This kind of scale is unimaginable, except for a man who thinks sky is the limit. The combination of digital payment and Jandan Yojana achieved direct benefit transfers of over 20 lakh crores. No leak of any kind, directly from the treasury to the recipient, the beneficiary. Unthinkable. And because of all this came the Mudra Yojana. Mudra Yojana is probably the world's largest and the most prolific loan scheme. 52 lakh loans have been granted so far, and 32.4 lakh crores have been disbursed. And it has promoted self employment and entrepreneurship in a manner, and particularly the women participation in labor force has gone up by almost 80% as compared to 2014. And this, all these things combined, put together, would not have been, has only enabled GST. GST is one of the greatest reforms and the most courageous reforms. And I'll tell, just to give you the figure, the indirect taxpayers before GST was 6.5 million. Today it is 15.1 million. And the direct taxpayers were 5.7 crores. Today it is 10.4 crores. These figures, this kind of tax participation was unthinkable unless Modi was the person leading the country. And the way he has handled, I will just mention only one thing about how he has handled the foreign affairs in the last couple of months. It is something, a lesson in geopolitics. The kind of courage, the determination, and the capacity to face up to challenges through which he was built from 2001 was demonstrated against the measures initiated by Trump. The whole world succumbed. EU signed on the dotted line. Japan signed on the dotted line. Korea signed on the dotted line. Modi said no. He would not even talk to him on phone, because he will treat them in the same way they had treated him, and so announce the deal as if the deal had taken place when no deal had taken place. The Prime Minister did not lift his phone for 4 times. They went on a campaign, almost an abuse, unbecoming of a nation of America's size and power. But he never uttered a word. He never responded. He only showed by action. Finally, what happened? It has never happened in the history of India that a Prime Minister of India refused to take the American president's phone for 4 times. And ultimately, they had to come down to have a deal with us. Whether the deal materializes or not is a different thing. But he has done it. And the most important thing which I see as his diplomatic coup is before he went to SCO, he went to Japan and struck a deal on technology, on investment, on trade with a friend of America. And then he went to the adversaries of America. And so he balanced in a manner which is a lesson in geopolitics. So I feel that in the final years of my life, I am spending in an India which Modi has made so proud, all of us to feel proud, and the whole world looks at us with awe. The man visited 72 countries in 10 years. And he transformed the global relationship with India, made it one-on-one relationship with the people of each country. And the result we are seeing, the Morning Consult America rated him as the most popular leader among the 26 democracies, and continuously for 6 years. We all should feel proud of him.
Sir, may you both be extremely healthy, and may both you and Prime Minister Modi have a very long and healthy life. My next question to you, sir, is this: that does Prime Minister Modi have a problem of great or too great expectations? And let me explain what I mean by that. You mentioned UPI. People say, why couldn't he do it earlier? 370. Why couldn't he do it earlier? Even Ram Mandir, why couldn't he do it earlier? Operation Sindur, why could he not do it for longer? GST, why could he not bring about the rationalization earlier? So, is this a classic paradox of a leader who is caught that he's always, people are judging him by a very different base? Why couldn't he do all of this earlier? Why hasn't he brought in uniform civil code till now? How could that impact him? And does it create some shadow of incumbency in your view?
See, my feeling is that he has changed the rule of the game. That anyone who now competes with him to occupy his position will find themselves so inadequate. They cannot show counter performance. They are only trying to question him because it is in a way, a duty of the opposition to question. But the more unreasonable questions they put, the more they will look less and less credible. I don't think Modi is very much bothered about the kind of talk that is going on that he should have done Article 370 earlier or Ram Janmabhoomi earlier. 5 years was a build-up period. He had to convince the world. He proceeded from a negative. He was compared to Hitler. He didn't have the visas to visit America, England, Japan, many EU countries. And as Prime Minister, he was elected in this condition. And the world did not know what to do. And Economist magazine said, you are going to raise a Hitler in India. This is the Modi who became the Prime Minister of India. Hated in this country by people who did not want to see his face just because he represented the Hindu civilization. And abroad, such a huge campaign had gone on. People do not even know who Modi was. They only saw him through the kind of campaign that was going on within India and outside India. He transformed the entire image of himself and India over a period of 5 years. Then only he could begin doing things in India so that what he does will be understood outside India also. Because India is a global player. It can never ignore global opinion. Narendra Modi had to become acceptable to the world opinion as a Hindu civilization leader. Also, the civilizational paradigm was developing as Modi came to power. And only after COVID, the civilizational paradigm began taking roots. Even China, a communist China, began proclaiming its civilizational character. And so, time was ripe only then for India to do things which, if it had done earlier, it could have been misunderstood also. So, Modi had to keep the public opinion in and outside India in mind before he ventured into doing things which India could not do for 70 years.
Well, I think, the question here is that we know, therefore, that the Prime Minister is very significant in his particular role. The question is, Mr. Gurumurthy, you've known him well. You've known him closely. What is his unfinished agenda? If I were to ask you, what is the one thing which you think he would have wanted to address by now, but which he has not been able to adequately address, what would that be?
You see, he would like to see India as the most respected and valued nation in the world, for which he has laid the foundation. He would like to see it happening, for which he needs time. I hope by 2029 he will achieve most of it. He has no independent ambition, in my view. I have never seen him aspiring for anything personally. In fact, once Amit Bhai told me, have you seen him? Have you seen what he eats? He eats so little. And the man is such a simple and a very determined person. He is not easy to probe that person. There is a deep man inside which connects with a higher force. I've always told him that there is some divine blessing. I have seen thousands and thousands of people praying for him. in 2014, in 2019. So all the prayers make him what he is. So I have no doubt that what he wants to achieve is only the country's greatness and our civilizational greatness, which I think he will achieve, and that is his unfinished agenda. Other agendas are contextual. That will keep on happening. But the more important thing is that India emerges as the most respected countries in the world because it has the philosophy to be respected, practice to be respected. A country which till the 13th century did not see any mass human killing when the whole world was witnessing blood and blood only, has a history, has a tradition, has a civilizational personality which Modi is representing. And I think he has to deliver that message, and he is delivering this message, and he will be successful when he completes his job.
Well, Mr. Gurumurthy, I thank you very much. I couldn't have asked for a better opening on my program tonight. Yes, Gurumurthy, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, sir. Thank you.